Well, good morning. How about July 10th, 2017, regularly scheduled Commissioners Court is called to order. We'll start with the invocation followed by the pledge. Tim, would you please?
Dear Heavenly Father, I just come to you today and ask that you be with us today as we take care of the county's business. Just guide our every decision and our discussion, just to help us to make the right decisions, help us to know what to do. Lord, I ask a special outpouring on the first responders and our peace officers and our military today. Lord, please be with the men and women that stand in harm's way that can't be at home today taking care of family business because they're protecting us. Please keep them safe and return them home soon. In precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
As always, please turn off your pagers and cell phone except for emergency personnel and law enforcement. And with that, I've already apologized to Ken that we didn't get the orchestra here for him when he comes down. But let's start with acknowledge. Number 3, acknowledge the retirement of John Theobald from the Sheriff's Office. Sheriff? Unless you change your mind, John, that'd be fine.
He's not real sure because he goes by Rusty, but y'all got it down as John, so we wasn't sure.
The record will be corrected to Rusty.
Thank you. I wanted to introduce Rusty Theobald. Rusty is a very, very good employee, outstanding. You never had to worry about him. He started in 1993 working in the jail. In September of 98, he was promoted to corporal, and in September of 99, promoted to sergeant in the jail, and moved to patrol in October of 2000. He was promoted to corporal in 2006 and to sergeant in 2009 and has excelled beyond everything we could expect. He does a great job. You never have to worry about him. You don't have to worry about the calls he goes on. He takes care of business and he does it right, and he takes care of the agency. And we have had a lot of fun, enjoyed a lot of things, good times, made calls together. He's good backup. He's good cop. And I hate to see him leave. I hate to see him leave a lot. But I wish him and his family well. They're moving down to a lake and getting his house built and going to live the good life. Said he's going to have a special room for us off on the side.
Oh, yeah.
We'll need that address notified for a court meeting.
I kind of throwed that in, but we're gonna do something. But Rusty, I want you to know personally how deeply I appreciate everything that you've done, how wonderful you've been, and all the help that you've done.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Speak time now. This is your chance.
All I can say is that the sheriff's office has allowed me to raise a family and provide and excel and made me a better person and met a lot of new friends and made a lot of friends, and it's I couldn't ask for anything better. I've been treated very well, and I'm really going to miss it. But sometimes it's time to make change, and we're going to give it a shot. So,
Rusty, what lake are you going to?
LBJ.
And that address is?
It's right there in Kingsland, Texas. You can't miss it.
Good for y'all. Great.
Looking really forward to it. So
good.
And going to be missed, I tell you. So.
Well, you're welcome back anytime.
Well, I sure thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think Commissioner Prude's got something.
On behalf of the court, we want to present this back to you, but really just tell you thank you for the same kind of details that Gary just said. But I'm really excited about what you've got planned for the future.
Thank you, sir.
You're going to have such a great time down there and be able to start a new phase of your life.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Very much.
Thank y'all. Thank you, sir.
Sheriff, we can get a good picture of you if you.
Yeah, come on up here, Rusty.
Yeah. There you go. Come on over here, Randall.
One more. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks again. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Get that address, we're going to need it. Because we can't declare a meeting place without an address, so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, and number 4, acknowledge June impact of the month. Ken Moten from the District Attorney's Office. Bum, bum, bum.
Even getting
Oh, I can't. Yeah.
So this is our Impacts Award winner. We are so proud of Ken Moten and his dedication to the District Attorney's Office. And I'd just like for Linda to be able to read. She's the one who nominated Ken, and I'd like her to have an opportunity just to read to the court what she wrote.
KG Moten is an excellent candidate for this nomination. He goes above his required duties in the District Attorney's Office and is always available to assist the employees in this office as well as the other offices. He doesn't wait for you to ask. He always just steps up and does whatever needs to be taken care of. Mr. Moten assists with the jail arraignments and the county court dockets. He is always very respectful and helpful to the defendants during the court proceedings. I feel like Mr. Moten is always courteous to everyone he comes into contact with, whether it is a county employee or a citizen that he encounters. I feel sure that there is not a person in this county who would not highly recommend Mr. Moten for this honor.
Absolutely.
true.
Very
All
true.
right, Ken.
Say anything? I know.
Thanks, everyone. Give us a speech. Tell us whatever you want to tell us.
Thank everyone that made this possible.
You bet.
He even wore a shirt.
I saw that. Yeah.
Well, on behalf of the county, here are some goodies for you. I think the real bag of goodies is somewhere else, right?
He already got it.
Already got it. You know, it's not often in our lives when somebody else brags on us, and that's a really neat thing. My mama was the one who did that for me, and she's passed, so I'm out of luck. But it's really nice to have your fellow employees think highly of you. And so congratulations on leading that kind of a life. Thank you.
I was going to say, he can't leave. Don't encourage him to leave. Well, I don't know.
Thanks, Ken. Simple. All right, number 5, discuss and take action on court minutes from June 26, 2017.
Motion to approve. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 3 and 4 were acknowledgements, which we did verbally, but is there a motion to acknowledge each one of those?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Have motions and seconds for 3 and 4. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. Number 6, discuss, take action on court fees from the county and district clerk's office.
Yes, good morning. I have the court fees for June 2017 for the county clerk and the district clerk's office.
Okay. Any questions or motions?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Russell, if you'll hang on just a moment, we need to do 4 things that are all kind of together because Tim's got to go do some additional work out of the building. Let's go to number 15, discuss and take action on professional services for downtown library. The court had approved looking at the downtown library, and it does require some engineering work, and we've had the preliminary walkthroughs. Now it's time to get the details, and that is a professional service fee, and it needs court approval.
Yes, I've reached out to Parkville, Smith & Cooper to do some work, to look at the downtown library for the upcoming renovations, and I don't have a line item so that I can hire them to do that.
So it would be, the way we've handled it in the past is non-departmental professional services. If the auditor agrees to that, if she doesn't, there is a capital line that we can move money out of.
What exactly is the service for? I'm sorry.
It is for the engineering and the design of what we internally have crafted to remodel. Now we got to see, will it pass the engineering codes?
Definitely. If it's for engineering services, it is professional.
Okay, so she agrees. If you're so inclined.
Motion approved.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 17, 18, and 19 are all together. And Dwayne, you may want to come up here for this too. 17, discuss take action on building roof on Fort Worth Street. That's the downtown storage building. Had storm damage and it needs a new roof, right, Tim?
Needs a new roof. We've got an estimate of $95,000 to replace it. I'm not sure. Dwayne's going to meet with the insurance people.
Yeah, this week, hopefully Tuesday, they'll be here for insurance to be able to look at that. With us wanting to go back with Midland, it already being a different product before that, it'll probably just be the difference is what it sounds like.
We're going to go back with the same product.
Oh, the same product. Okay, I'm sorry.
So if it's the same product, you're led to believe insurance will pay for it?
Right. Led to believe that they're going to pay for it. If there's any differences in it, then we'll have to just pay the difference a little bit. That's it.
So it turns out you don't need court action today.
I don't think we do.
Okay.
Okay, if you're going back with the same material. No action on 17. 18, discuss take action on sign at Horseshoe. This would be the Cotton Flat sign, which is the older sign. It's about 8.5 years old.
Correct. The Cotton Flat sign took a lightning strike, the power going into it. It is non-repairable now. I have had Cactus out there working on it, and it's to the point it's just non-repairable. Going to be getting with insurance as far as replacement on that, because it's not going back exactly alike. Since we're coming up to color instead of just red, there's going to be a difference in price on that. So we'll need to make up that difference.
Okay, but again, you think insurance will cover that?
I believe insurance is going to go ahead and cover it with preliminary talks to them. We just have to get them out here to look at it.
Okay, so since they haven't been here, they were scheduled, I thought, Friday.
They were scheduled for Friday. They've had their
Okay.
people go in every direction because of these storms.
So this is more informative to the court than action.
Yeah. It could be, I'd like to get it contingent on the outcome with insurance to be able to pay off the rest of it so that we can get it done.
We don't know how much it is yet.
Don't know yet.
No, we got
Well, the price estimate on it's $163,000 is what the price estimate on the sign is. It's just what the difference between them going back and wanting to pay just for color is going to be the difference.
Okay.
From Cactus, huh?
Yeah.
No.
No. This is Lone Star.
This is Lone Star.
They're on Bible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just make that.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
on buy board.
Yeah, Lone Star is the one that we got the quote from, and they are on buy board.
Okay, well, Commissioner Donnelly's correct. We don't have numbers, so we don't have any action. 19, discuss take action on sign in Centennial Library.
That's all you.
This one, we had the banners up that go across the front, 3 different places. During the last storm, 2 of the banner holding devices came loose and could have done severe damage because they were blowing in the wind. Had to have one of my guys go out in the storm and take them down. Originally, we were going to put a sign, electronic sign out front, billboard, and we'd like to go back with a sign now instead of those devices that hang. A sign would be much simpler, much safer. The staff, we designed a thing that you could lower with ropes and put banners on and raise back up. And I don't want to sound, well, we had a hard time getting the staff to do that. because ladies, and they didn't want to mess with it, so my guys would have to go over every time and raise and lower pretty much, and that, that's not a problem unless we're not available. But it became a problem in the storm because none of them could take them down, and so we had one of my guys go over and yank these metal frames down that were flopping in the breeze, and so we'd like to go back with a digital sign, one in the middle. We've got a price of $40,000. It should have been with your stuff, but through Lone Star, which is owned by Board.
Okay, this is a non-budgeted item, should we go to that, so it would have to come out of contingency, or there is one capital item that will have some money left. So,
Is it going to be mounted on the face of the?
It's going to be mounted where the banners went, up underneath. There's 3 areas that already got a metal frame up there, and so the man that came out from Lone Star said, yeah, you can go right to that metal frame, and all we'll have to do is get a little electricity through the facade to power it up, and then it'll be run by wirelessly by computer.
Tim, is there any insurance claim on that frame or anything?
No, it's they won't meet the deductible, and it didn't do any damage to the building. We did have some storm damage to the building, that same storm that we're waiting on an insurance claim on. It took part of the facade off on the east side corner, so
Okay.
we're waiting for the insurance claim on it to rebuild that.
Okay.
Does this,
Signs,
go ahead.
prone to lightning strikes, or is this just something that, just a random act of God?
Now, these signs were banners, and it was in that same storm, they were torn down by that
But
same
I'm
storm.
talking about the one at the horseshoe.
Yes.
So are they prone, or is just kind of, okay, it just
No,
happened?
this sign, the one at the horseshoe, is older. It's almost as, well, we put it in when we built the horseshoe. And we've had trouble with it before, but it happened to take a lightning strike. The one on the interstate went out, but they got it back up and running after the storm.
I think Dwayne's got the explanation
Yeah.
we found out.
Yeah, for the horseshoe, he's correct. The one out there on Cotton Flat, it's age and hitting by lightning. The one on the interstate was a computer that got struck inside the box. It just went out. And they say it was due to the storm. They replaced it. It's up and working perfect now.
The one
up at Centennial, all it is just frames. That's it. The only storm damage we have up there is, like I said, the facade and that brick wall that's on the east side. And there wasn't any existing sign there, electronic sign. So
But the one at the horseshoe, if I'm right, Justin said we had some IT damage out there and everything.
Right.
Is this correct? And my understanding is the lightning hit the power pole with the transformer that fed all these.
correct, because we had some APs go out also and some switches off the same.
Because of its age, the older one, the parts aren't available to get it back up and running. Another footnote at the library, I was talking to John, and they spend roughly $8,000 a year buying banners for events. So this sign would pay itself off in 5 years.
And as far as he was talking employees pulling those up and down, that's a real big safety issue as far as those, because they are just free floating on ropes. And unless you got a couple people out there that know what they're doing, it's going to get somebody hurt eventually.
This cellular plan is, there's a 5-year cellular plan in this deal. Is there a different way to do it than having?
Which one's that for?
The Centennial sign.
Centennial?
Isn't there another way to do this?
With the sign, there's a 5-year cellular plan. I try to get them to take it off, but it's kind of part of their package. But we're going to have them go ahead and put it in since it's part of it, and they're also Ethernet connections. So when the 5 years runs up, we'll just do it over our network like we're planning on doing anyway.
Okay, so it'll
them to log in to be able to work on if we have problems.
We'll plug it into our network as well.
So that's the 5-year warranty then?
Yeah.
Okay, so of the damage on these signs and buildings, the only one that's not insurance covered is the library. And that's the question
The
for the
library
court.
signage, correct.
It's $40,000. It's unbudgeted against an $8,000 a year current payment. And the money, here again, would be contingency or perhaps the capital item that be some funds in.
If it helps you make a decision, there is $317,000 in contingency.
Thank you.
How about that capital line? Which one is it, Judge?
It is the archive building, since we are hopeful in closing on the one we have the offer on. All that expense will not be consumed this year.
Okay, I'd kind of prefer it come out of that account since it's...
Make any difference.
But I have a question for you. Will the signage at the library be, will this meet what the advisory board has been asking for the last several years? John, can you address that as well? Because they've been wanting us to upgrade that as part of the community.
Yes, Commissioner, the advisory board, as you know, has been talking about more permanent signage out there digitally for all programming. Right now, the signage that typically goes up is just for exhibits that are on for 8, 10, 12 weeks because it justifies the expense.
So not only will this pay out in a relatively short period of time, but it will actually be a much improved for the public.
Yes, sir.
So, very good. I'll make that motion unless there's any further questions.
Second, and that's out
To replace that out of the capital line item for the
What is the amount? I'm sorry.
$40,000.
Actually, I have a question on that. You've got two amounts on here, option 1 and option 2. One is 1 foot less than the other. What size are we looking at?
Oh, that's a good point.
Is it the 5 by 15 or the 5 by 16?
It was a 5 by 15.
It depends on the
5 by 16.
the 16. So it's 40,210.
Okay.
So that's the number, Veronica. Thank you. Luis.
Is that your motion, Randy?
Yes.
And the second was?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. And this is just a question. There's no action yet because we don't have a number. But on 23, you're talking about weatherproofing technologies, trim care service agreement. That is the preference vendor for the roof at Fort Worth Street.
That is the man that is the company we have the contract with to take care of our roofs and inspect them and that.
Okay.
That's our yearly contract.
Okay. We'll handle that one, Christie.
Okay. I have 11 if you want to call me that.
I do.
So I get.
Since we've got time, number 11, discuss take action on David Sapp travel to Galveston, Texas. This is a line item transfer because this all occurred later than the line items had to be in. And Tim has the travel money in his budget, but we needed to move it to the cemetery. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, kind of like that. He's traveling not for, in our cemetery line, we have a education and training line, but we don't have a travel line, and he's not traveling for education or training. He's traveling on a special project we have him on, and so we had to take it out of a different line, and we didn't have that, but he's had to go today.
So what's that special project that we're talking about?
We are looking at what we can do either at the cemetery or revisiting the old plot of land that we initially were going to do the veterans thing with the show of support, and when they backed out and we got the property back. We've heard umpteen different kinds of numbers, but there is a facility, it's actually in Galveston, that's done this, and so he was going down to look at it and come back.
Going to talk to the people down there and find out who did it and how, get some ideas on how to make it happen.
Some type of a memorial? Am I understanding that correctly?
Veterans Memorial.
And it will deal with veterans either way, because right now, all our veteran plaques from the old courthouse, it's the only group of plaques we have not reconstructed for public view.
Thank you.
And we can't, or we can, but I'm reluctant to put anything in the budget till we understand what the costs are.
The amount?
How much is your travel amount?
It was 700 and plane tickets were, I didn't bring it with me, $760, I believe.
$800 would do it?
Yeah.
Tim, that's a question.
Yes, and he's going to have hotel and stuff, but he'll put that on a.
Okay.
Yeah, thingy when he gets back.
This one.
I got you.
She and I are on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I got
She knows what I'm saying.
I'll make a motion that we
Synced.
allocate $800 in the line item transfers from facilities budget to allow David Sapp to travel to Galveston.
Okay.
Thank you.
Second. Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. I think that's it for
That covers
you.
me. Thank you very much.
See you. Thank you. All right, let's jump back up in order to number 7. Discuss take action on out-of-state travel for Ellen Griffith and Kimberly to attend the 40th National Child Welfare Juvenile and Family Law Conference dated August 10 through 12, New Orleans, Louisiana. Holy mackerel.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. Kimberly and Ellen primarily spend the vast majority of their job doing CPS cases, representing Child Protective Services. In fact, that's where they are right now, as they are every Monday. And it's very difficult to find seminars that deal specifically with that type of case, especially within the state of Texas. So they were lucky enough to find this one, which is right on point, looks really, really good. We have all the money in our budget, so this won't be an additional cost to the county.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Russell. Number 8, discuss take action on out-of-state travel for John Trischetti to view exhibits Jackson, Mississippi, Spartanburg, South Carolina, and why both of these. A brief explanation. Part of this is me. The Spartanburg is where the Churchill exhibit that we have negotiated for, plus some, is on exhibit, and they encourage us to go look at it so we understand, and we either say yay or nay, and that in turn translates to cost of the exhibit. Now, the Jackson, Mississippi, John, go ahead.
Yeah, so the Curious George exhibit is currently on display at the Mississippi Children's Museum in Jackson. And historically, what we've done, because it can be a significant investment for both the county and the foundation, is go and look at those while they're installed to make sure it's something that, A, fits, what we want to do in our facility, but B, talk to those people on site and make sure it's the right fit for us. We have a very good track record now of success with those exhibits, but we just, before we sign the contracts and pay the deposits and get stuck, we make sure that we view those. So the judge had suggested that we view that on either coming or going, since we wanted to view the Churchill, which is at Wolforth College currently.
You may remember we have this practice because a couple of years ago we were going to sign up for a Da Vinci exhibit that was beautiful in its presentation and all, and
they were very good salespeople.
Yeah, just something said go look at it, and we went and looked at it, and fortunately we did not do it, and saved us about $50,000.
Yes, sir.
So.
I've got a question.
Sir.
Excuse me. Sure. I'm just trying to figure out the budget from the Library Foundation. I know that you're taking, there's a lot of
Yes,
trips
sir.
that you're having to take.
Yes, sir.
So my question is, can the Library Foundation help us out with some of this travel? Because it's, in my opinion, it's quite a bit. I think that I feel like every other court, we're having to talk about travel. I understand that we've got to look at these exhibits. Me personally, I think that sometimes we can just look at them online, but after the judge's comment, I understand now why we have to go. I'd like for us to start looking at that. I know it's something great for Midland, don't get me wrong, but we also need to start looking at how much we're coming and going. So just kind of food for thought. I don't know if that's been brought up to the Library Foundation. I would encourage you to bring it, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And what was the response?
Well, currently, the foundation policy is that they don't pay for travel for they have an employee, they have an executive director, and they do a lot of financial support, fees, and bells and whistle type things, and things that the county legally can't cover a lot of times. So they have currently, at least, and I know Judge Bradford has talked to Mr. McDaniel, their current board president, they have a policy that won't allow that. That's not to say that that can't change in the future, but that conversation has been had.
Okay. I would encourage us to have that conversation again, and I'd like to be there if possible.
Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. The money for this, again, is non-departmental owned.
Yes, sir. So this obviously wasn't in the budget because we didn't know we were going to do it this time last year, but we do have event support line, which is where we transfer that out because that goes to things that support the exhibits and special events.
Okay, so it's in there, but it's a line item transfer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any discussion or motions?
So where will it come from, Judge?
It'll come from the library's event support line, but I'll have to line item transfer it for travel to cover.
Okay, make a motion to approve this travel to come from that library support line.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 9, acknowledge library statistics report.
During my budget meeting, I was specifically asked for some data that I didn't have on hand, and so you should have that in your backup. It was specific about computer usage at both locations. There's a lot of data there, but I'll just bring you to the last page, which is a year-to-year comparison, broken down by Centennial, downtown. You'll notice that there is...
John, I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you,
You're
but
fine.
I don't have that backup.
Here you go, Louise.
I just got the numbers.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Can that be sent to us?
Yes, of course,
electronically,
yes.
please? Thank you.
Luis and I both have just the number listings.
Okay. Well, the gist of it is that the numbers are very strong. Usage is still very strong. You will notice a decrease from year to year. We think a lot of that is because that was the year we changed our hours. We're just not open as much as we were. When we shifted to 10 to 7 instead of 9 to 8, obviously you shave 2 hours a day. Over the course of a year, that compounds. If you average it out, you'll notice that the total time usage, though, and the average minutes used per terminal, per login, are still very consistent and strong, so.
John, on these numbers that we have here, so I guess they're all combined, both
Yes,
Centennial and
yeah, let me
downtown?
hand you this. Come here.
Yeah, can I, thank you, sir.
You bet.
This is a month breakdown and broken by line.
Do you have any?
Chris, you have Centennial and downtown, but within that, obviously, you have adults, children's, genealogy. We have a large number of public use terminals.
It appears my colleagues.
Okay. We'll resend that and make sure y'all get that.
Okay. Or we'll
Can I
make-
keep this?
Yes, of course.
All righty, thank you.
We can get that to you, and you can do that next time if you like.
The other
It was
thing-
just, it came up in my budget meeting, that's why I brought
You know
it
what,
to you today.
is there any way that we can do it next time so you
course.
can give us time to look at these numbers? Because I don't know if I'll have questions, and I'd like for us to be able to address some of
I
the
think
things
we
on
all agree with that, so let's just table the statistics report on number 9 by agreement. There is one that you can share with all of us right now. What's our daily visitation at Centennial with the current children's exhibit?
About 1,100 a day. We're running about 1,500 to 1,600 system-wide, 500 to 600 downtown, and 1,000 to 1,100 at Centennial, which is will be another record summer for us. We keep thinking we'll plateau, but every year it kind of goes up a little more, so.
And the other statistic, a little article in the paper Sunday about the food.
Yes, no, y'all are
That
to be
joint.
commended for the summer feeding program. It's been very successful, very appreciative. We have nothing but positive comments from those families and those organizations. We're serving the newspaper said 75. I think we're approaching 100 a day. Every day it grows a little more, so.
Any issues that we were anticipating?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay. So if you will repackage and resend, we'll put it on the next agenda to go through the statistical report.
Yes, sir.
Good job on that food program, John.
Yeah, no.
I appreciate it.
Good for y'all, yeah.
Number 10, discuss take action on library donations. Now, I do
Just
have that.
material, no monetary, yes, sir.
Motion to approve?
Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Let's go to number 12. We've done 11. Discuss and take action on hotel rate above per diem. HR and pardon me, the DA.
Yes, I have 2 prosecutors who are going to the TDCAA Annual Criminal and Civil Law Conference in San Antonio. The conference rate is $203.15, but conference rate is $190, or you have it? It's $199, and the only room we could get was at $203. That was what was left, and the per diem is $121.
And you're lucky to get it at that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It shows to be 209 in there, right?
209 may be with the taxes in there.
Okay.
So you need the base rate, 203, plus the appropriate taxes. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Second. A motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. 13, discuss take action on renewal.
Wait.
I think there's one more.
Oh, excuse me.
You forgot about me.
You want to go too?
I
huh?
do.
All right, go ahead.
I'm sending Crystal to Dallas for 2 classes, and they're held in 2 different hotels. And we just wanted her to be able to stay in the hotel that the first one's being hosted in instead of having to move in the middle of being in Dallas. And so we were told we had to come and get approval for the second night because it is above the per diem rate.
And what is it?
It is $209 plus taxes.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Now I think we're through with that.
Yeah, yes.
All right. Bailey, you're 13. Discuss take action on renewal of EAP service contract.
Yes, we are not signing a new contract. It's just extending the contract that we're currently in. Nothing has changed. Services are the same and price is the same. And we are above the national average for usage of the EAP program.
Okay.
So are you pleased with that, Bailey? Does it look like it's doing some benefit for our employees?
It seems to be people who use it seem to enjoy it. They seem to appreciate it. And it seems like word is getting out about it a lot more now.
Okay, good. Make a motion to approve that item.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion
Thank you.
passes. Thank you. 14, discuss take action on personal step and grade for emergency management. The court discussed this last time. There was a gentleman interested. We interviewed him, and he was more than a fit. So we approved it, and now we need to go on the record as to the step and grade that he came at.
The gentleman is Justin Bunch. He's working for the police department. I left each one of you a list of all of his qualifications up there this morning. And one of the best qualified people I've seen in a long time to come into this. He's been working on it for several years, getting all of his schools. He should have his arson investigation class finished next month. He can't take the test until the end of August because they won't be giving another test unless the Odessa Fire Department does some testing before that. Then he can take his state test. But as you can see on that, he's working on a 4-year degree from West Texas A&M in emergency management. As soon as he gets that, then he can go ahead and take his certified emergency management to have his CEM national. So.
And the 2 things that we need to remember is he's capable of working on his own right now from the start.
Right.
He has worked in our community for a long time, and the DA's nodding her head saying good.
He is an amazing officer. He is very credible. He is somebody who I would trust with any type of investigation that was brought before our office.
Okay, good. And the second part was we had budgeted that when we first started talking about this position as a beginner, one that had to go to school a lot. So for the record, we need to elevate his step and grade. Mitzi says it doesn't take any more money. There's money in that line for the balance of the year. So his step and grade, it should be a 2210. Is that right, Dale?
Yes, sir. That's what Mitzi gave me is 2210.
Yes, sir. Plus his certification.
Yeah, right. Plus.
But the base pay is at 22.
And he is also a master certified peace officer already.
What's the grade in step right now, currently?
The beginner, while she's looking it up, go ahead and look it up. I think, Luis, it was like 59.6 or 59 something.
So it's still at a 22 or?
I think it's.
No, I can't give you the step grade, but I can give you the dollar difference, 59 something, and this is a 71,431.
Okay, gotcha.
Dale, isn't it part of our hopes that he'll be able to work quite a few operations on illegal dumping? And
actually, he's going to go to, and it's something I need to tell the sheriff too, because Sheriff and I have been talking about this, but we just made arrangements with Pioneer and with Dr. John Ockles that owns the illegal dumping, Texas Illegal Dumping Resource Center. and wrote the book on it. He's going to be here August the 19th and 20th to be teaching classes in illegal dumping. So Justin's already scheduled to go to that, and the sheriff had said before he was going to get some deputies in it also, and it will be at the Pioneer Building downtown.
Okay.
They're supporting us on it.
The beginning grade for that position with no experience was paid at a grade 18. And we didn't always start them at an 18-1, depending on how long they had been here. But it used to be an 18-1 with no experience at all.
Thank you.
And actually, on that list, he's already got his professional development series, and has taken 46 extra classes already in emergency management, so. And he's also got a Master Military Emergency Management Specialist and a Master Military Emergency Management Specialist instructor, so.
Elias was actually a 19.
And she just told me Elias was a 19, so.
Well, anyway, I will make that motion to approve the 2210 step and grade change for the assistant to the emergency management and to hire him.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Dale, thank you. Mitzi, thank you, too.
Thank you, and he'll be starting on Wednesday morning.
Good. Number 16, discuss take action on lightning in detention at the sheriff's office. Lightning inside the detention.
Lighting.
Lightning, we've had a lot of that, but
You had it on the interstate.
one of the biggest problems we have in the jail right now is a leaking roof.
Is this, Sheriff, is this in the new side or the old side?
Old side.
Okay.
This is in the old side that was built and finished in 1990. Blocks A through F, or A through F. F block, if you remember in our jail inspection, the last time that he was here, turned the lights off and the power wouldn't come up, and we had a problem with electrical, and we managed to get that fixed or repaired to accommodate what the jail inspector wanted. John Nichols, going through and looking at everything, has discovered that when it was built, all of the electrical was underground and it was put in conduit, and it came up in the pipe chase with the water pipes. We have...
The electrical conduit came up in the water pipe?
Alongside the water pipe.
Alongside, not in it?
That's correct, huh?
Inside the pipe chase.
It was inside the pipe chase with the water pipe.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand that it wasn't in the tubing that carried the electrical.
No, the conduit was separate.
Okay.
However, because we have continuous leaks in the roof, the water coming down has caused the conduit to erode to the point that the wires have shorted out. And that's what caused the problem in F block. Whenever the wires shorted out, it melted the neutral, and it created a mess. You got any pictures?
Just on my phone.
Okay. And it's going to cost $7,700 to get that particular part fixed for F block. What we need is through A through E block to get that back up, and we don't have the money for that in our budget. And we have a bid from Basin Electrical for $18,398 to do that work through A&E, and I highly recommend that it gets approved. It's
18,000 what, Sheriff?
$18,398.
And that includes F?
A through E.
Okay, but doesn't
F we're doing right now. It's already done.
They're almost finished.
They're almost finished with it, and F block is done. We're paying for that out of the budget. We're going to be down depleted where we can't pay for this other.
Okay, who's doing the work on that?
Basin Electric.
Okay. All right, so you need that, and you need it yesterday, right?
Yeah, pretty quick. It is, I think it's absolutely necessary.
Okay.
I would make the motion that we take that out of contingency.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. The amount was $18,398, or for the auditor, $18,400.
That would be great.
Okay, $18,400. Second on that.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
And just to let you know, it is causing problems in other parts of the jail. because all of it was underground on that old side. So as soon as we find the problems, we'll come back to you.
I'm amazed that we even got an occupation like permit with the conduit running right beside a water. Ask Mason to go ahead and look at the rest of that building.
We're going to? Yes, sir.
See.
Yeah.
Just.
Okay. All right. We'll take care of that. Thank you very much.
Good, thank you. All right, 20, discuss take action on the AT&T internet contract. Justin?
Where do you want me to?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Judge, the Commissioners Court approved this contract, I think it was the last meeting, the one before this is for internet, and the only issue is it is a 3-year contract. We tried to get them to reduce it to give us a chance to get out at either on a short notice or at least at the end of every year. There is a clause that allows us to get out early, but there's a very large penalty. So before we went ahead with it, we wanted to bring it back and make sure that the court is okay with that.
Okay, does that penalty suffice so we don't break the law by a 3-year contract?
Yes, yes. It's just that we would, in the past, we've, excuse me, I don't think the court has ever even approved any that had a substantial penalty for early termination. But I spoke with Justin about it. He feels very comfortable that with his knowledge of AT&T's internet service and that.
Is there a requirement for a minimum throughput on this?
1 gig. It's supposed to be.
That's guaranteed?
Yes, it's supposed to be guaranteed 1 gig.
What happens if it isn't?
Well, then they're in breach of the contract, so that's different. That'd be different than us just being able to terminate because we want to. If they don't provide what they promised, then they're in breach and we can get out.
So you'll do your little on-screen monitoring that says how much it is?
Yeah, we'll throw one up here in court.
That'd be good. Okay.
What's the penalty?
The penalty for canceling, it's a minimum of 12 months and then 50% of the prior completion.
I'm sorry, 12 months?
12 months and then 50% of anything we haven't completed. I talked to AT&T and they basically laughed at me, so.
Yeah,
I think their contracts are pretty standard and.
Yeah, Ma Bell. I would make the motion that we approve the AT&T internet contract.
Okay.
With emphasis on throughput and the note of the option to terminate.
Okay. That's a motion. Is there a second? We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. 21, discuss take action on RFP for audio-video equipment with installation.
Go ahead. Okay. We opened the responses, and we received 3 responses. After doing our evaluation based on the point system, we have elected to go with high fidelity.
Okay, update, if you recall, we tried to upgrade a courtroom and then let all the judges see. They saw and said, this is what we want. Justin went out of his way to get that done, and then we put it out for RFP. So this will complete the courtrooms, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The court had already authorized this RFP and the money, I think.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we did it originally with high fidelity?
Yes, sir. We originally did it, and then we were going through a subcontract through another buy board vendor, but since then, they didn't want to do that anymore, so we decided to go straight to the vendor that they were using.
Okay. The, on your evaluation of Tarpley, how did that come about?
We basically created a point system before the RFP started. It was points for previous experience with jury trial, Midland County, and then maintenance and repair response times. You want me to read the whole thing to you?
No, I got it.
Okay, with Tarpley, they were the lowest scored out of the three.
Okay.
They did not provide any of their experience with AMX products. If they did have any, they did not provide that, and we did request that. We gave them this point system in the RFP, so they knew how they were going to be graded.
Just out of curiosity, on one of them, it said previous positive working experience with Midland County. Have these guys worked with us in the past, or?
High Fidelity has.
What about the other two?
They have not.
Okay.
Can you kind of summarize what it is that the judges originally wanted, that they changed their minds on when they wanted this update or upgrade or whatever?
Y'all just sit back.
Justin,
So basically what happened was is the courtroom audio in the courtrooms was kind of an afterthought from what I was told. We brought some of the TVs from the old courthouse, put them in there, and kind of put something together real quick. Over time, standards for things such as VGA, plugging in your laptop, HDMI, a lot of things have changed, and we didn't have those capabilities. The technology was outdated, and we did need something. The judges knew that. I think a lot of people just didn't know where to go. We got an outside consultant that provided them some information, but it really basically said the same thing we already had. So I kind of stepped in, and they had a long list of things, and they still do, but we decided that we would kind of create a base system of basically getting at least the video and audio up to today's standards, where somebody could walk up with HDMI, plug in, it automatically displays on the TV without rescaling and stuff.
So the question, my line of reasoning is this going to solve the needs for a long time, or is there a whole bunch of stuff that they think they'll find out tomorrow and want to change again?
As far as what we've put in, I feel like it should last us a good while. I'm hoping at least 10 years plus.
Okay.
We built it to where it's very modular, so if they come out with HDMI 8.0 tomorrow, there's boxes under the tables that plug into a regular network cable. We can replace just a box and have the new standards without replacing the whole system like we had to do this time.
Okay. And this is how many different courtrooms?
We've already done 3. We're going to do 4 more plus this court.
Okay.
Commissioner, we need to applaud Justin because your question's on point. We met with those judges a couple of times, and they all had a different idea. And then the salesman showed up, and he had a different idea, plus a bunch of more money. And asked Justin to step in, and he did, and he came back, and he says, this works, it doesn't cost that much. And they all have the same operating capability. He shows it to them. They said, "Oh yeah, that's nice."
No, we tried to keep this. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So it's uniformity, as we've tried to stay with. But I'm hesitant to say that they won't send us a request for more.
Well, and I feel like the base system is in place. They've expressed the need for like a wireless mic, but I feel like that's a very small cost and something they could cover out of their budget. So the biggest expense I feel like is done. If they want any little things, they should be able to budget for those, and it shouldn't be too big of an expense.
To give you an example, when I first got the list and called Justin, it was $1 million right at.
We had for all the courtrooms.
Yeah, and so we've gone to work on it, and he's carved it out into steps as those steps may be needed or may not be. So kudos to Justin.
I would make the motion that we go with high fidelity on this. One thing, Justin, is on those arms on the tables out in front of the court. You may want to look a little closer at that.
Okay.
I mean, those are pretty flimsy as far as, I think you're going to be replacing tables pretty quick.
Okay, we'll take a look.
Yeah. If you're not careful, because those clamps do a real good job on that, and they don't look very steady.
Okay, we'll take a look.
Okay. They certainly need some kind of protective fabric or rubber or something under.
There's a rubber actually built into that clamp, but
Yeah,
we'll
but
take a look.
even
Probably need
with
a
that,
metal
you-
piece, a metal piece that'll fit on there so that you extend the length of where that stress point is.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll take a look at that.
Okay. If you would work with Commissioner Donnelly on that, so we don't.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. Stay put. 23, we don't need to do anything yet because we don't have the insurance. 24, discuss take action authorizing county judge to sign SWAG IT services agreement and purchase.
This is the second half of the Commissioners Court redo, so we've approved the audio for this, and this is the kind of second half of some of the video to go along with the Commissioners Court.
Okay.
That's
Christie, I didn't forget you. I just had Justin up here. We'll get back to you.
What are these optional services? Which one, are you going to need all of them, some of them, none of them?
No, what we're going to do is we're going to be required to start doing live streaming, and with the live streaming through these guys, they will take our videos, edit them, do live shots, be part of the court meeting, throw people's names up. So we're going to go with the third option.
I'm wondering if Randy thinks this is a unfunded mandate.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Where will the citizens be able to see this service?
To be determined, but it'll be, if we do the live stream, it'll be on the internet, probably off our website, with a link.
Okay, well, the city has a Channel 1 or whatever it is that, broadcasts all their stuff. Would we be able to piggyback with that, or is that?
I'll have to get more information. I'm not sure, but we might be able to.
Okay.
Randy, I think this is another one of those things. The legislature is crafting a place that we're supposed to have it. I don't know if that's in it or not.
As far as broadcasting on TV, I'll have to get more details. We will, if we need to, this system should interface, but I don't have any details on as far as getting authorization for a TV channel yet.
Okay.
Are we going to have dancing with the county at this point? I would make the motion that we go ahead, and do we have to do this out of contingency? Or
This is all in our budget already.
Okay, I'd make the motion that we approve this contract with Swaggit.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 25, discuss take action on purchase of data management. Don't leave. You're up here.
Got a quote from Data Management, as well as Data Management, Cable Company, and Dell Computers. Total price for the entire project is $103,542.24. This is not a budgeted item. This is for the timekeeping system.
Okay. The timekeeping system that we're going to have to go to, or some system, this is the least intrusive. And the company's out of San Angelo, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So we asked Justin to put this on here. If you're inclined, we can start buying some of the equipment. There are some departments that already have it budgeted in their upcoming budgets. If we paid for it again, it would have to come out of the capital unused money and transfer out of there. So,
Justin, on the amount that you just talked about, what I've got here, there's like a discount. Do we qualify for the discount? I know it says municipal government.
All the discounts been applied because those are based off the DR contract.
Okay. Because it shows that the total changes to 87,700.
Yeah, I've got 87,783. I've got estimated about $3,500 for cabling and about $12,454 from Dell Computers that I didn't get to throw in before court.
Okay, so it was, can you give me those numbers again? I've got the 87,700.
Yeah, that, 3,500 for cabling and then 12,454.31.
And a little more explanation on why. As we got to looking at it and what our requirements are going to be, to make it live October the 1st, we need to get a month or two running start. If we wait till October 1st, then we don't go live till January.
Correct.
So we thought this was the best avenue, and let me correct where the money would come from. There is money in there for a court system package that's going to be pushed into next year, so the money would come out of that.
The IT budget, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can wait if you want to, but it just delays us 2 or 3 months every time.
Mitzi, are you good?
Yeah.
This is what we need to do?
Yes, sir.
I have wanted something like this for a long time.
Yes, sir.
I've talked to Justin about it. I think it'd be an ideal situation for us to get involved in it and get started. I would highly recommend that you pass it and accept it. We need a timekeeping system for all employees. But I am really looking forward to it with the sheriff's office. I think it'll help Mitzi's office out a lot. It'll help us out a lot. It'll reduce some work on some people. It's going to increase some work on some individuals, but they're going to have to handle that or do without a paycheck. And I think they'll work and take care of it. But I highly recommend that we do it.
You read the material, didn't you? You can do it or no paycheck.
There you go.
Yeah, and this is much like a number of the things we do. There are budgets coming in the new budget that have this purchase out of each department, but we can subtract those out of those budgets and do it all at once and get them started.
I'd make the motion that we purchase from Time Clocks plus the data management stuff.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion
Can you
passes.
state an amount for the record, please?
Pardon me?
Can we state an amount for the record, please?
The amount, hang on for a second.
$103,542.24.
542?
24.
Can we do 104? 104?
104.
104.
Thank you.
Is that your motion, Commissioner?
So moved.
Is that your second?
Yes.
All in favor say aye.
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 Robin,
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.
Robin, was that a technical word, this data management stuff?
Yeah, that's technical. All right, now, let's go back to Christie and Lex in 22, discuss take action authorizing county judge to sign a RICO lease agreement.
Yes, this is for HR. They currently have a Kyocera, but that lease is up. They're going to move to a RICO machine. And we have two options.
Yes, HR has decided to go with a 36-month lease.
Okay.
And I'm very excited for them because they are going to be saving like $200 to $250 a month with this changeover to RICO. So we're looking for 3 years, possibly saving almost $10,000 on their rental.
Again, we need to thank both of y'all who she's pointing to Lex. We need to thank Lex because he took this task on without direction, and it's ended up in almost $100,000 savings. So way to go, man.
Thank you, sir. It's our department. We all work close together.
Okay.
Thank you.
So.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you very much, Christie. Thank you. And as you get word on this insurance, if you'll get it to me, and then we'll start.
The weatherproofing?
No.
Oh.
We'll get back to weatherproofing next court, but we'll start trying to put in where the money will come from if there's differences.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the next one was just, well, hang on.
The next one is the weatherproofing, right?
Yeah.
But we don't know what the money is.
Yeah, we have a quote.
We don't know what the insurance.
This is the contract of.
You're talking about
This is service contract.
You just want the
isn't it?
service contract?
Yeah, this is just the service contract.
Okay, well, Tim and I had talked about doing the whole thing. All right. 23, discuss take action on authorizing county judge to sign Weatherproofing Technology Incorporated Trim Care Service Agreement.
Yeah, this is just a service contract, and it's just renewing what we already have. They do the roofs for the courthouse, CSCD, Centennial Library, LAB, Road and Bridge, JP 214, Culver, Horseshoe, and the Annex.
They don't do the jail?
I don't have that on here. I just have the LAB.
I would add the jail
Okay.
unless there's, the new part of the jail has that specialty roofing, but you're talking about the old part.
Yes, sir.
I'd encourage,
They covered the whole thing.
yeah, I'd get with Tim and see if you need to add that.
Okay.
And I would hope the court would support that. 'Cause
Okay.
they've done us a good job.
Then I will get with him on that, and we will bring it back, because the amount will probably change for the contract. Right now, it's at $28,646.27. That's a yearly contract for service.
Well, we can go ahead and okay that and tell them we've already okayed the contract.
Okay.
Yeah, come back with an amendment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is there a motion?
I'd make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
26, discuss take action on fleet accidents. Dwayne, we have none.
Yay.
27, take action acknowledging personnel memorandum. Yes, ma'am.
There's nothing much out of the ordinary today. The only overtime at the bottom is those that's paid for with discretionary funds from pretrial intervention, and a couple hours in pretrial they use when they work after hours. That's all approved.
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 28, discuss take action on budget line item transfers.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just have a couple of them to bring to your attention. Line item transfer number 6919 on page 3 of 33, only because it is moving money out of the purchasing department into a fleet management fund, $9,000, and it's a BPO for tires, is what it indicates.
Yeah, we ran out of tire money.
We did. So it's coming out of purchasing, and it's going to be moved over there. So because it is out of a different department, that's why I'm bringing it to your attention. The other one I have to bring to your attention is 32 of 33. That's the page number, and it's line item transfer number 7063. And it's $5,830 that it is for CID, moving money out of salary employees into contract services. And I believe Mitzi was aware of it. They're going to have a vacancy or someone that's going to leave on maternity leave, and they're just wanting to hire somebody contract in the meantime.
So it's to cover somebody that's
So, yeah, and it's,
on
yes.
family leave.
And it's out of salary into contract services. That's all I have.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Mine starts with 2 of 33. What's 1?
That is correct. They just haven't had all the approval process hasn't all gone through the system, and so that's how it started.
Okay.
We print them all out and then take out the ones that we need to take for you.
Okay. Questions?
Motion to approve line item transfers.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 29, discuss take action on bills and wire transfers.
I do have a wire transfer for the county clerk's office, $1.83 deposited in pooled cash account in error. So we're going to need to transfer that back. As far as the bills in general, I do have one exception this morning, and it's for the Midland Rock Hounds. The amount of $3,885. I believe it exceeded the PO amount by $400. So because it did that, I'm bringing it before the court.
Okay.
I do have some additional bills that I would like for the court to consider.
Okay.
United States Fire Insurance Company for transplant fees, and Boone Chapman Health and Dental fees in the amount of $50,271 for the stop loss and $27,127 for health and dental fees. We hadn't had a chance to review these, and I'm asking the court upon our approval to go ahead and allow me to cut a check to Boone Chapman and to United States Fire Insurance Company. The only additional one I do have is for the Midland CS and CD. We do get a fiscal fee because I am the fiscal officer for Midland CS and CD. We get close to $10,000, and it's a percentage of the money they get from the state, but the state has adjusted their money, and therefore we need to make an adjustment to that fiscal fee, so then we owe them back $69.
Okay.
So.
And this morning I got one. This was a request that we put through so we can make an RFP deadline for some title review and research pending an upcoming oil and gas offering. It's $600 to Brian Martin, attorney. He did some additional title work to make sure we could state in the RFP what we thought we had. So here's the...
And it's coming out of what funding?
That would be professional services.
Non-departmental?
Yeah. So any questions on the bills or discussions?
Make a motion, we approve all of Veronica's and Mike's stuff.
Okay.
Is that technical again?
Yeah, I was following my fellow commissioners.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Veronica. 30, discuss take action on employee pay for sheriff's office. You asked for an executive session. All right. So with that, we'll go to 31, take action on the submitted application for permit to use county right-of-way for utility, line installation, driveway construction, mailbox construction. Precinct 1.
0.
Precinct 2.
5.
Precinct 3.
1.
Precinct 4.
1, make a motion to approve all of these.
All right. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We have executive session items. Russell, this number 32 you had.
We don't need that anymore, Judge.
Okay, 32 is not needed. So the executive session items consist of Texas Government Code Section 551.074 to discuss personnel matters. And there's nothing on real estate that I'm aware of.
I do need item number 33.
All right, and 33, conduct executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code regarding pending prospective litigation and other matters. So we will start with 33. Sheriff, you're under personnel, is that correct? So if y'all will excuse us, we'll take a 5-minute recess and then go into executive session. It is 10:15. We are out of executive session. It's 11:15 by my watch. Is there any action from executive session? Commissioner Donnelly.
Yes, we had previously approved a payment to Ernest Montoya Jr. That needs to be amended to $15,000.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Is there?
Judge, we will need to, I talked to Veronica, we will need to recall bills.
Oh, gosh. Madam Auditor, let's recall your bills.
Thank you.
29, discuss take action on bills and wire transfers. We are requesting that, I believe if I understood the motion, we're requesting the $15,000 bill to Mr. Carlo, say his name again.
Ernest Montoya Jr.
Be included in today's bills. Is that what your wishes are?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's Donnelly's motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.